Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday afternoon, July 20th. Another hot day in the Mid-Atlantic region. Temperatures are well up in the 90s in many parts of the I-95 corridor region. That, of course, follows a hot day on Sunday, humid conditions as well. It looks like it stays pretty hot for the next couple of days, but there is some relief in sight for first the Great Lakes and then the Mid-Atlantic region and Northeast U.S. later in the week. It looks like a strong enough frontal system will come through by around Thursday, late in the day, Thursday night, to usher in some more seasonal air as we end the work week on Friday, and that should be relatively close to normal on Saturday as well before we start warming up again to the 90s, it looks like, by the early part of next week. In terms of rainfall, scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, tonight, into the day on Tuesday, but more numerous, more widespread showers and thunderstorms are likely Tuesday night, Wednesday, and Thursday. Some of those midweek storms could be quite strong as well in the Mid-Atlantic region. We have a couple of upper-level troughs that will be dropping to the south and east over the next few days, kind of increasing our chance of shower and thunderstorm activity as we get to the middle part of the week and the latter part of the week, all ahead of that next frontal system that should usher in more seasonal air at the end of the work week. Well, before we get to the surface forecast mass from today's GFS model run, let's take a look at sea surface temperature anomalies around the world, and then we'll kind of focus in on the tropical activity in the Atlantic Basin and also in the Pacific. First of all, you can see right here, blue represents colder than normal conditions, and this is the La Nina that we've been talking about for the last several months, playing a role not only the Atlantic Basin tropical season, but the Pacific Ocean as well. The equator, located right here along this horizontal line, this is in the equatorial part of the Pacific Ocean, and cooler than normal conditions out in the equatorial part of the Pacific, contributing to below normal tropical activity in both the eastern Pacific and the western Pacific as well. They've definitely been below normal for this stage of the tropical season. The Pacific Ocean tropical season tends to ramp up a little bit sooner than the Atlantic Basin, but very little activity over the past couple of weeks in both the eastern Pacific and the western Pacific Ocean. Meanwhile, take a look here in the tropical part of the Atlantic. Generally normal to above normal sea surface temperatures extending from western part of Africa to the Caribbean Sea and then into the Gulf of Mexico. And we talked last week about some waves over the continent of Africa, likely leading to more activity in the Atlantic Basin as we go through the second half of July, and indeed warmer than normal conditions out in that part of the Atlantic will also contribute to more and more activity as we go through the month of July. Meanwhile, one final area of interest, look at this, very warm waters here in the northern part of the Pacific Ocean. We'll continue to monitor that over the next few months, as this part of the Pacific Ocean can often be quite important in terms of wintertime weather conditions. For example, if we get a very warm blob of water there, that increases the chances for some colder air outbreaks into the eastern U.S. in the winter season. So this is an area we'll definitely focus in on over the next few months. Well, this is a map from the University of Wisconsin CIMSS website. It's a global mosaic, and we showed this at the end of last week, showing a couple of waves, interesting waves of tropical nature over the continent of Africa. And here we are as we begin the new work week, and still some activity here of interest over Africa. And these are generally moving in an east to west direction with the trade winds. Out over the Atlantic Basin itself, we have some waves of interest. First of all, there's low pressure right here in the northwest Gulf of Mexico, another wave of interest right here south of the Bahamas. Both of these moving slowly to the north and west, and a couple other waves of interest right in this kind of the convergence tropical zone here. Again, we expect more and more activity as we progress through the month of July, and especially since we're seeing some stronger and stronger waves over the continent of Africa. Well, here's the latest map from NOAA's National Hurricane Center. Indeed, they're monitoring three different waves, tropical waves. One right here tucked in along the east coast of Texas. Very well could produce some heavy rainfall across Texas and Louisiana over the next couple of days. Another wave right in this region right here, sliding to the north and the west. We'll have to monitor that. Finally, a third wave way down in the eastern part, the central part of the tropical Atlantic Ocean, all moving to the west or northwest. And again, it looks like we'll have increased activity over the next couple of weeks with additional waves to monitor over Africa. Well, let's now take a look at the surface forecast maps from today's 12Z GFS operational run. And again, only scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next few hours. There is a weak frontal system that's in the area, kind of meandering in the mid-Atlantic region. Will go through the next few hours, and areas south of the Mason-Dixon line may see kind of a more widespread concern for showers and thunderstorms later today into early tonight. Places like the DC metro region, there is kind of a boundary zone over the Ohio Valley that is sliding south and east, and that could enhance the situation a bit later today, early tonight, in places like DC and maybe eventually over the Delmarva Peninsula. Continuation of hot and humid conditions. Let's now keep moving forward here. Again, showers and thunderstorms generally confined to areas south of the Mason-Dixon line late today and early tonight. And we go into the day on Tuesday, and a decent wave of energy aloft will push south and east. May increase the chances again tomorrow evening for showers and thunderstorms. And these kind of temperatures, there's a lot of potential energy in the atmosphere. And any storm tomorrow night, Tuesday night, into the day on Wednesday, and even into Thursday can be quite strong in the mid-Atlantic region, becoming even more widespread in the overnight hours tomorrow night. Then by the middle part of the week, we're looking upstream now. High pressure forming over the Great Lakes. A couple of frontal systems will try to usher in that relief by Thursday night and Friday, and those frontal systems will be associated with some showers and thunderstorms. And again, any midweek storm can be on the strong side in the mid-Atlantic region. It's nice to see high pressure over the Great Lakes as we go into the day on Thursday. Another band of showers and thunderstorms associated with one in a series of fronts over the next few days, each one of which will tend to bring in a little bit better, a little bit of a relief, but really it's going to wait until Thursday night or Friday to have anything noticeable in terms of relief. Here we go, starting the day on Friday. It looks like that'll be the day where we'll probably have the most noticeable relief behind these frontal systems. A little bit lower in temperatures and certainly a little bit lower in terms of humidity. Cannot completely rule out a shower or thunderstorm by the time we get to the end of the work week. And then on Saturday itself, it looks like some more seasonable conditions in the mid-Atlantic region with high temperatures probably confined to the mid to upper 80s in places like New York City, Philadelphia, maybe flirting with the 90-degree mark in DC. So continuation of relatively hot conditions over the next few days with scattered showers and thunderstorms today, tonight, and tomorrow, and more enhanced, more widespread coverage of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night, Wednesday, into the day on Thursday. And finally, some relief, more closer to normal conditions by the time we get to Friday and Saturday for the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast U.S. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.